Python supports standard arithmetic operations for numerical manipulation, similar to other programming languages. These operations include addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponentiation, modulo remainder, and floor division. They follow standard mathematical precedence rules and can be used with integers, floating point numbers, and more complex numeric types. The addition is simply, we will use the plus sign. We will go to C. One by one you will see that it is very simple, so I'm going to do a simple print here. We'll do 5 plus 2, for example. I will now execute it. And we can see that I have 7. So this is the arithmetic addition operator, which is very simple to understand. In the same style you have subtraction, which she will be indicated by the minus sign. Therefore, the operator will simply be the least. If I execute, we can see that my console displays 3 5 minus 2. Then multiplication, she will be obtained thanks to the star. So here, if I do a print 5 times 2, we had 10, and the last one quite simply the split. With division it will be done with a slash. If I do 5 divided by 2, I execute this Python code, can see that I have 2 and a hat that are for the most common. So you don't need to be a genius mathematician to understand. These are really basic things. So then, something that is a little less common is the modulo. Then, the modulo is obtained with the percentage sign. So I'll explain to you how the modulo works. Simply returns if we want to simplify the remainder of a division or a Euclidean division, but well, we're not going to stop there. So let's imagine here that I draw a modulo, for example, 10 modulo. Or what will be the result? That gives 2. So it's completely logical because it's the remainder of a division. To simplify, how much? Sometimes I have 4. In 10 we have 2, because 2 times 4 equals 8, but if I multiply 3 times 4 gives 12, I exceed 10. So let's imagine here what I do, 10 modulo 5. If I run now a code, we can see that I have 0. It makes sense because 10 divided by 2 equals 5, and there is nothing left at all for my division. So automatically the return is 0, so that's it. Something that can be quite interesting later. Another thing, how to get power, simply with double star. So 10 to the power of 2. About women, 10 times 10. We can see that we have 100. Mathematical operators, you can see that they are simple to understand. It's not very complicated. There is no need to be a mathematician for that. So obviously, you will be able to perform calculations with numbers. For example, here, I could create a variable called nb1, which is equal to 6, is a variable nb2, which is equal to. So it works the same way. I could do a print of nb1 plus nb2. You can see that I have 8. So, what is also important to understand, if I do, for example, here, multiplication times 2, is that I have 10 as a result. So why? You can see that here, nb1 is equal to 6, and here, nb2 is equal to 2. How does Python calculate this? It will work the same way that in mathematics, that is to say, multiplication, it has priority on the bill, in the same way that it would take priority over a subtraction, or that the division would also take priority over the addition or subtraction. That's to say that here the calculation done by Python will be twice 2. At first it gives 4, which will be added to 6, so equal to 10. Now, let's imagine that I want to do nb1 plus nb2, that is 6. Norden 2 is 8 times 2. I'm going to do a math priority. We put in parentheses 6 plus 2 makes 8 times 2. That is to say that here the Priority will be first on NB1 plus NB2 and then will be multiplied by 2. And so there is the answer. East sees 6 plus 2 equals 8 times 2 equals 16. Something else that can be very interesting. You can obviously, for example, add a number, then go delete NB2, and we will keep NB1. Let's say I want to add 1 to NB1. So the value given to NB1 and we add a, which will allow me here. First of all, I will initialize the value of NB1 giving it a value 4, for example. So that will allow me to have 4 here for NB1. The assignment value plus 1 equal to 5. This notation here, we can replace it with another. More equals still. You will see that the result will be the same. NB1 plus equal and not equal plus different 1. You could see that it is indeed equal to 5. That is to say that in fact, NB1 will be added and we will increment by 1 to itself. So you should know that you can do the same thing here with less. So less equals 1. So I'm going to get 3 here. You can do this with multiplication and division. You can. Doing everything is no problem. So we will also use a term. When we add 1 to a variable, we will say more equal. And this term here means all that. To add 1 to a variable, it is the incremented term. When we are going to do less, so it's remove 1 to a variable, we call it decrement there. What there is to say at the level, there are not many mathematical operators. These are the most important ones. There are others, but these will help you want to discover in due time. But here are the main ones that we will learn in all programming languages. To be able to do just that, start making programs and playing with values.